Meet Sara Munir, CEO of Invest to Innovate. Before she became a founder, a mentor, and a CEO, she was that girl, the one who asked different questions.
My mom used to tell me that you're my most difficult kid.
Because being difficult often just means you're reaching for something bigger than what the world would expect of you.
First girl to leave the country and go live in another country.
She didn't just leave, she led. And in doing that, she cracked open possibility, not just for herself, but for every girl who would follow.
When you go the path less traveled, I think the first thing you have to accept is it's never going to be easy. But that's the choice that you're making.
It's rarely easy, but that's where her story lives, in the discomfort, the pivots, and the courage to walk forward when the way isn't clear.
That I wanted an education, which put me at par with successful people.
So she went after it, from journalism to Fulbright, from storyteller to startup builder, from asking hard questions to building platforms that create real answers.
In my case, at that time, the only success stories I was seeing was men.
And that's when she realized the models she'd grown up admiring didn't look like her. So she performed brilliantly, not for validation, but to claim space in rooms she once doubted she belonged in.
It doesn't fully go away, ever.
The self-doubt, the second-guessing, the pressure to prove, it lingers even for women like Sara, who've done the work, earned the seat, and still sometimes have to remind themselves they belong at the table.
One day you can be very successful, feel amazing, and the next day you could feel like a total failure.
Because success doesn't make you immune to the mess, the chaos, the vulnerability. They will show up. And Sara doesn't hide that. She names it, owns it, moves through it.
I would say only get married when you're secure and happy with who you are first.
It's a sentence shaped by experience, a reminder that commitment should never come before clarity.
और औरतों का sacrifice तो भाई, it has some moral.
It has to be there.
It has to be there, and there is a moral superiority with that sacrifice.
So she says what many of us feel but few say, that women are applauded for what they give up, not what they fight for.
Now becoming a lot more real and harder to be a founder and a sustainable founder.
So the landscape has changed. The market is tougher. The noise is louder. But Sara still believes in innovation, in resilience, and in the next generation of founders who are choosing courage despite the odds.
Because the mandate is to make entrepreneurship accessible and easy.
And that's what drives her, the mission to clear the path for those who come next. Because for Sara, leadership isn't just about what you build, it's about what you make possible for others. This episode is about ambition, identity, and the quiet fight to define success on your own terms. Here's the story of Sara Munir, daughter, disruptor, and a woman who walked the path less traveled. On her story with Zainab Faisal. Let's listen in. Assalamu alaikum, Sara, and welcome to the show. Thank you so much for taking out time today and coming and meeting us and having this, inshallah, very good conversation. Sara, I've been following your work, especially when you joined Invest to Innovate. Being a startup founder myself, I think it was such a disruptor, and seeing women leading it, I resonated a lot with it. So, मैं ये चाहती हूँ, मुझे बहुत excitement थी कि जब आप, you said yes and you'll take out time and, we will have this in-depth conversation with you. So I want you to introduce yourself as being the CEO of Invest to Innovate. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
First of all, thank you for that very generous welcome. And I'm also very excited to be here because when you shared your vision for this podcast, which is to highlight, women leaders and their journeys, I think that's something that resonates very deeply with myself as well. So very excited to see where this conversation goes. To quickly introduce myself, very briefly, I'm the CEO for Invest to Innovate, which is an entrepreneurship support organization. So हम businesses के साथ काम करते हैं in easy terms और उनकी capacity building करते हैं, research, connecting them to investors, basically getting them in a sustainable growth phase और जो growth phase में then helping them scale to other markets या fundraising. By background, although I'm a journalist, I've been a practicing journalist for 15 years. तो मैंने यहाँ भी काम किया है in almost all of the leading newsrooms, Dawn, Tribune. और फिर मैंने एक significant chunk अपने career का US में गुजारा, न्यूयॉर्क में, जहाँ पे मैंने I've always been working at the intersection of technology and media. So that's something that has been constant in my career. Like I'm always drawn to innovation, to tech, and that's also a big part of the work that I do because हम जिस तरह के businesses के साथ काम करते हैं, उन सब का innovation focus है. कुछ का tech layer है, कुछ वैसे ही innovative है, and the name also suggests invest to innovate. So yeah.
I've always liked the name Invest to Innovate. Very sort of a disruptor name or innovation within our culture. अभी भी उसको उतना close to home नहीं है, close to heart नहीं है लोगों के. हम वही चीजें करना चाहते हैं जो people have taken a path
Tried and
successful.
tested, yeah.
बिल्कुल.
You know,
बिल्कुल.
copy paste from other economies, from our own economy.
Absolutely.
Because it requires a certain degree of risk taking. वो एक appetite चाहिए होती है to be bold, be ready to fail. तो वो unfortunately हमारे यहाँ थोड़ा सा कम है. And इसके काफी सारे reasons. I think it starts very early from what you're taught in schools, what you're taught at home, and obviously फिर आपके systemic barriers भी हैं. So yeah, I agree with you. It's still kind of a bold undertaking. It's not that normal.
Absolutely, absolutely. और आपकी अपनी भी journey, Sarah, has been very unconventional, if I would say, you know,
Yeah.
it's been a bold and unconventional journey. So if we go back to a very young Sarah, you know, tell me a bit about that.
I think the only thing that has been constant in my career is change, and not just change in terms of location, but also focus areas. I've done many different things throughout my career, but अगर हम बिल्कुल बचपन की बात करें तो some of the things that I remember about myself is my mom used to tell me that you're my most difficult kid. And what she meant by that was I always wanted to do new things. I've always gone into uncharted territories. So was always a big reader, always had a book in my hand. And I think that has a very big role in shaping my ability to dream and having a kind of a vision for my life. Then जिसके ऊपर मैंने act किया, obviously there were ups and downs, but I think that one specific trait is very important. And if you talk to a lot of people who are successful or, you know, doing different things in life, एक चीज common होती है, they're very avid readers. So I was a reader from a young age, and fearless, I would say, in a lot of ways, because I'm the first girl in my family who went to college.
Were you the eldest child?
I am the eldest child, yes. But I have very mixed traits. Like as an eldest daughter, there's a lot of housekeeping and, you know, maintaining the order and caretaking. That comes very naturally to me. I have 3 other siblings, but I've also always been a disruptor. So first girl to go to college, first girl to live away from home, first girl to leave the country and go live in another country. So अब तो ये चीजें I think फिर भी fairly normalized हो गई हैं, but coming from an upper middle class, fairly conservative family, at that point, I think it was huge for not just for myself, but also for my parents to trust a girl to take those kind of steps. And up in retrospect, I think it opened doors for all the girls in my family. Now it's not a big deal. Almost everybody goes to college, you know, has taken bolder steps like myself. But at that time, I think it was hard.
Must have been very hard. And how did you convince your parents?
It wasn't easy. I don't think when you go the path less traveled, I think the first thing you have to accept is it's never going to be easy. But that's the choice that you're making. And people who take those paths, they're, I think, also attracted by the challenge that comes with it.
बिल्कुल.
So तब तो मुझे नहीं पता था कि that's what I'm doing, but it was just this um, dream of getting an education that was at par with the men in the family, having a career, and I knew कि उस career तक पहुंचने के लिए एक base level है जो मुझे पार करनी है. So I think convincing my parents was not easy. They were not they never blocked me, but उनके लिए भी first time था ना बहुत सारी चीजों
बहुत
का.
चीजों
So they were learning with me.
हाँ yes.
My mother has always been a very staunch supporter of what I'm doing. Even though she doesn't understand most of it, she's like, I have no idea, but I trust you. So if you want this, I'm going to support you. And then my father came around. But I've seen a very conscious change in my parents also, because I think एक बात जो हम नहीं समझते या सोचते is your parents grow with you. So there's also a responsibility that you have. If you've gotten a better education, if you've seen a different life, you take your parents along. Either you can isolate them and be like, "ये मुझे नहीं समझते," yeah, you can take the harder path, which is to help them grow with you. And I mean, that's not easy. There's a lot
yes.
of like negotiations and stuff that have to happen.
एब्सोल्युटली एब्सोल्युटली क्योंकि आपके पेरेंट्स भी उन्होंने देखा नहीं होता है
Yes.
एंड इफ योर चाइल्ड इज taking on a totally new path
Yes.
it's a very
It's
challenging
scary. I'm sure it's very scary.
very scary and very challenging and especially if it comes to a female child
Yes.
कि वो कैसे करे अगर यहाँ पे आपकी जगह आपका मेल काउंटर पार्ट या भाई होता और वो ये चीजें या एम्बिशंस अपने इजहार कर रहा होता तो बहुत डिफरेंट होता एंड राइटली सो बिकॉज पेरेंट्स ऑल्सो थिंक कि अच्छा आगे शादी कैसे होगी
Yes.
what will be the acceptability in this
Yes.
regard
Yes.
क्योंकि I remember when my mother would say choose an education path which is not so long that it hinders you getting married or starting a family जो बस quote unquote बहुत important है ये एक औरत के लिए बहुत important
I do think it important, but it's equally important for
बिल्कुल।
both children, right? और आप
बिल्कुल।
अपनी पूरी What really bothers me is that a female child's entire life is about that one milestone.
yes
And we're expected to sacrifice all of those other milestones that feel equally good or even better,
better yes
which men are not deprived of. I do have a brother and he had a very different path than me. Because unke liye it's an investment. In them, it's considered an investment.
yes
But when a girl is going that path, initially it's considered a liability until they start to see.
and somebody also कि इतना independent thought process होगा तो mold कैसे होगी
Yes.
family life में
Yes.
how will she adapt
Yes.
to new people a new house so मुझे लगता है parents are also worried about that although surprisingly those are the same set of parents who have raised you to have an independent thought process who have sort of encouraged you to take the best of education so उसका अगर मैं तो I would always tell my mother and father that this is the so-called downside
Yeah. But also like अगर आपने जिंदगी में अलग अलग तरह के experiences नहीं किए हैं या अलग अलग तरह के लोगों से नहीं मिले हैं the chances of you being adaptable are actually lower because आप एक ही sheltered environment में हैं you only know one reality
yes
so when there is another reality you will struggle because आपने और कुछ देखा नहीं है but
absolutely
if you've met very different kinds of people, lived in different kinds of settings, sometimes good, sometimes bad, so you learn how to cope with it. आप अपने coping mechanisms develop कर लेते हैं. You learn to be flexible. You learn to be curious.
yes
Why people are a certain way, and those things I think are severely discounted.
absolutely so Sarah as a child you said you were like an avid reader and then you had these dreams कि मैं एक certain level of education और career के लिए मैं बाहर जाना चाहती हूँ as I was going through your profile you did your bachelor's from LUMS
Yes.
and then you were a Fulbright scholar as well
Yes.
so उसकी जर्नी मुझे थोड़ा बताएं and then when you stepped like when you went abroad US में आप गई तो कैसा फील हुआ must have been a big cultural shift
Yes.
and how did you cope and what were those जैसे कुछ pieces of advice होते हैं that you just keep close to your heart when you're taking on this big journey actually
Yeah. I think बाहर जाने का तो as a child मैं सोच भी नहीं सकती थी. That was a very far-fetched dream. But one thing that I've noticed is कि जब आप when you start to move, right, the path begins to reveal itself. So you just have to go step by step. It's not like as a teenager, I knew, okay, I'm going to go to the US and do my master's. It was beyond my imagination. But what I did know was that I wanted an education, which put me at par with like successful people. And in my case, at that time, the only success stories I was seeing was men. So I was like, मुझे इतना पढ़ना है कि मैं, जिस तरह से ये लोग काम करते हैं, financially independent होते हैं, I want the same. So LUMS, obviously at that time, was the most prestigious institution locally. And another thing was I've always been a straight up nerd. So, matlab, always had good grades, always was top of class. So that really helped when I wanted to make a case with even with my parents. My grades supported me. If that was not in my favor, they would have been like, you don't have what it takes. But I always had that going for me. So that kind of became my armor through life. And I think that's why I hold excellence and performance so close, because I know it opens doors. LUMS jab main gayi, to obviously that was a completely different world. What I loved about that institution was there's a very big focus on social sciences, so critical thinking,
Yes.
teaching you about the systems, history, the world. In addition to a technical degree, I was an economics major. तो उसने जो है ना मेरा दिमाग बहुत खोला. For the first time I met people outside of Karachi. पूरे मुल्क से लोग थे.
Yes.
वहाँ पे NOPs होते हैं, we're on a scholarship from underprivileged areas.
Yes.
So sharing classes with them, sharing accommodation with them, it changes you as a person. फिर LUMS के बाद I worked here for two years and by chance landed in the media. I think because I was a good reader and writer, I felt like media is also an agent of change, because economics mein mera focus hamesha development economics pe tha. Systems change. So media is obviously a big part of that, and this is the Musharraf era where you had, this fresh wave of energy,
Absolutely.
new things, bold things happening in the media. So I joined Dawn. वहाँ पे मैंने 2 साल काम किया, but जब मैं वहाँ काम कर रही थी ना, I always felt like there were frameworks missing, academic frameworks missing around what I was doing. यहाँ पे मीडिया आपने देखा है, ethics नहीं होते, कोई आप rigor नहीं है, वो academic framework नहीं है. I don't want to generalize, but I think 90% of our mainstream media is like that. So मुझे वो एक कमी महसूस होती थी कि जब ये tough decisions होते हैं, ethical gray zones होते हैं, कोई तो guidance होगी ना, कोई systems होंगे. And I was like, okay, I think I need to get a degree. I need to understand this better. So then I applied for the Fulbright scholarship, again, because I had the grades, and also I knew that I can't afford to pay for a master's degree. Also, I can't go back to my parents and ask for more money to invest in my education. But I need to find a way to get this done. So I looked up my options, spoke to people, and I was like, okay, if I get this scholarship, that means I can, make this happen. And this scholarship was life-changing. I don't think I could have afforded it otherwise. And also the kind of experience and exposure that I got going to an Ivy League, studying with some of the top minds in the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. It transformed me. And then I think journalism by itself is a discipline that teaches you to be curious, teaches you to be empathetic, teaches you to go into difficult situations actually. That's where you're needed. So वो सारी चीज़ें जो मैंने वहाँ पे सीखी हैं, I think they've served me through my life and everything that I've done.
What was one of the most challenging things that you feel that you did there?
I think surviving in a city like New York, because again, it was my first time in America. I'd never been before, but because I was a reader, right? जो आप culture shock की बात करते हैं, मुझे वो culture shock उस तरह से नहीं लगा.
Okay.
Because I'd read about these places.
हाँ.
I knew थोड़ा बहुत what to expect. But obviously उधर जो pace है city की and the kind of competition I had, right? Like मेरे जो student body थी, it was from like I think 80-90 countries around the world. Some of the most seasoned, कोई author था, कोई already practicing journalist था. So raising the bar, I think, for myself, from like a local talent to an international talent, what that means. And that's not just, I think that's not just technical rigor, but also everything around it, punctuality, showing up prepared, being thorough, being accurate. ये चीज़ें I think हम for granted लेते हैं, but जब आप एक excellence की बात करते हैं, then all of this is as important as probably mastery of your discipline.
Absolutely.
So I think those were probably my biggest learnings.
Did you feel that there was some imposter syndrome? अक्सर लोग कहते हैं.
बिल्कुल.
When-
Yes.
When they're with people, one of the brightest minds.
Yes.
उनको लगता है कि probably they don't fit in. They don't match the vibe, the intellect. How did you cope with that?
I think imposter syndrome to probably has been a constant in my life. It just takes different forms, and also I've realized that it doesn't fully go away ever. It's just a noise in your head that's very loud, and it starts to get lower and lower as you continue to overpower it. Or wo mere, I think in my experience, what's really helped me is to keep moving, never allowing it to, never giving it इतना पावर कि वो मुझे पैरालाइज करता है. कुछ लोग बिल्कुल पैरालाइज हो जाते हैं.
बिल्कुल,
वो
बिल्कुल.
बोल नहीं पाते, they're unable to express themselves. तो fortunately, I've never given it that much power, but can I say कि नहीं था imposter syndrome? ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. Especially from like a developing country to the developed world. Being a woman, I was one of 2 Pakistanis in the entire batch. तो उसमें representation की भी एक बहुत बड़ी responsibility होती है. People have questions about your country. हम obviously post 9/11 पाकिस्तान के बहुत curiosity थी उसके around लोगों की.
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल.
Especially on the war on terror. So like for a lot of them, seeing a woman like me from Pakistan was like, हम तो नहीं समझ, we didn't think कि लड़कियां पाकिस्तान में ऐसी होती हैं. So I guess coming back to your point, imposter syndrome था, बिल्कुल था. But मेरा एक principle है कि keep moving, just keep taking small steps, and चीज़ें जो इतना बड़ा पहाड़ लगती हैं वो importance में आहिस्ता आहिस्ता diminish होने लगती हैं until they become background noise.
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल ऐसा ही है. And I think that to keep moving is the key.
Yes.
Is the key.
Yes.
क्योंकि there was somebody I met and she said that being a brown woman, being a Pakistani woman, a lot of times it gets tiring as well.
Yes.
When you have to keep on, there are very different avenues where you have to tell your story and you have to keep on convincing them that why you're here, and there are many like
You're kind of a case study.
Yes,
Yeah.
she said that you are a case study, and at
Yes.
times it gets tiring. But she also had the same thing. You keep on moving.
Yeah.
जब तक आगे बढ़ते रहते हैं, तो there are days that are tough, and there are days that are not so tough actually.
Yeah, and I think one thing that is very important to realize is that people who have accomplished stuff or are successful, ऐसा नहीं है कि उनके लिए सब कुछ आसान था या so they always knew what to do. But what's common is that even in the face of uncertainty and fear, they choose to act. I think that's what defines a leader or someone who's successful, who can continue to operate in situations where it feels uneasy, uncomfortable. And it's actually very, very uncomfortable, physically uncomfortable.
As well, yes. Absolutely, absolutely.
But you have to keep showing up.
Bilkul, bilkul. Sarah, you were in this new environment, and then you took all these steps that were very unusual. है ना, उस टाइम पे आपने बताया challenges भी मुश्किल थे. And then how much time did you spend in the US? And then when you came back, how different was it? Again, readapting.
I've moved between Pakistan and the US a few times. I keep saying that both Karachi and New York keep pulling me back for different reasons. So मैंने US में at a stretch 5 साल गुजारे हैं. Overall, I've spent 7 years over there. When I moved back slightly longer term, मैं COVID में वापस आई थी. Peak COVID, June of 2020.
Whoa.
So the world had changed completely.
Absolutely.
And Pakistan obviously had also changed. So readjustment was a big challenge. It took me around a year to find my wits again. एक तो pandemic, उसके ऊपर से मतलब जो मीडिया में वहाँ देख के आई थी और जो मीडिया यहाँ था, it was worlds apart. And I couldn't go back to traditional media here after working, at like the front lines of technology.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
So it led to a lot of like I had to do a lot of introspection. कि जरूरी नहीं है कि अगर एक चीज की है तो सारी जिंदगी वही की जाए. What is it that I really want to do? What is it that I'm good at? What's attracting me? What's exciting me? And the media at that time over here was not what excited me. So I kind of shifted paths again.
एंड वहां पे आप जैसे when you graduated did you work there or you had to come back?
No, because I was a Fulbright scholar. Fulbright की requirement है कि आपने एक degree complete करके you have to go back to your home country
Home country, okay.
and be there, work there for a minimum of 2 years. So I completed that, I did that, and then went back again.
Went back again. और
Yes.
फिर वहां पे you worked for Meta,
Yes.
you worked for Twitter, I believe,
Yes.
है ना?
Yes.
So वो कैसे how like and your core was journalism. So यहाँ पे पहले आपने Fulbright के बाद क्या काम किया and then when you went there how different was it?
I was always in the media. So Fulbright के बाद जब मैं वापस आई, I worked at Tribune. Because Tribune at that time was at the forefront of like digital innovation. उन्होंने अपनी website set की थी. Digital journalism, at least in some form, existed, which is what I had studied. तो 2 साल मैंने यहाँ पे Tribune में काम किया. And then when I went back, at both Meta and Twitter, I was on their news teams. So it
Okay.
wasn't completely disconnected, but obviously a very different form of reporting, fact checking, writing, जो कि यहाँ के मीडिया से बहुत अलग था. But it was indirectly, मतलब semi-directly related to journalism only.
और work environment wise सारा कैसा था? How different was it? We always sort of see these shows, we see online interviews. So हमें कुछ एक फसाड सा नजर आता है. I don't know. और मैं हमेशा मेरा ये सवाल होता है, how real is this when people are working in the same industry, let's say locally and then abroad? How different was that?
I think in terms of resources, ज़मीन और आसमान का फ़र्क है, राइट? यहाँ पे 10 लोगों का काम एक इंसान कर रहा होता है. वहाँ पे एक इंसान का काम 10 लोग कर रहे होते हैं because it's just well resourced. There's also very a very big like concept of work-life balance. So मतलब I've never worked 6 days a week over there. I was always working 6 days a week over here. We were always understaffed, under-resourced, just by virtue of how media operates here and the challenges that exist. वहाँ पे obviously because I was working for Silicon Valley companies, तो वो जो all that glamour, it's true, it's all there. And then you get to work on new things, right? Like be ahead of the world. I feel like in Pakistan we're always catching up. Everything comes here late. फिर हम resource constrained होते हैं तो उसकी adaptation is slow. At least that's been my experience in journalism specifically. वहाँ पे you get to innovate, you get to think about new problems, you get to work on solutions for new problems. But I do feel कि मतलब जिस तरह का काम हम यहाँ करते हैं और we make so much with so little, it's remarkable. और वो मुझे शायद probably अंदाज़ा वहाँ जाके हुआ था कि the kind of grit that we have here. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but यहाँ पे we've mastered the art of.
Can you explain that to me examples के साथ कि how do you think कि कम resources के साथ भी we're able to really come at par?
I think मतलब with our time, with multitasking, with one person wearing multiple hats, वहाँ पे बहुत clear आपकी JD होती है and you're only specifically working on that. So in a way that also limits कि अगर आपने कुछ नया करना है तो there's a lot of at big companies there's a lot of bureaucratic hurdles that you have to pass. यहाँ पे it's very easy to move fast, to do multiple things if you are that kind of a person who enjoys it. So वो flexibility probably ज़्यादा होती है, but on the flip side you're always overworked, you're always carrying the burden of 3 people.
Yes.
वहाँ पे maybe I was doing one thing but I was very very good at it because that was my specialty. So I think there's pros and cons that are different, but I feel like जो work ethic मैंने वहाँ पे देखा है, that's something I very consciously emulated, right? Like how I communicate, how I do exactly what I say, because it's my word and that's valuable. Being punctual, being prepared, going into everything, every meeting with like my homework done, always having data, always having facts. So ये सारी चीजें मैंने वहाँ ज़्यादा commonly देखी हैं and you know I've kept that with me.
सारा मुझे वहाँ पे हमेशा लगता है कि डिटेल ओरिएंटेड लोग बहुत हैं। जैसे आपका एक पॉइंट था कि एक बंदे का काम, एक बंदे की जो भी फॉर एग्जांपल वर्क है, उसमें 10 people are part of that team and they're working on different aspects.
Yeah.
And it highlights the fact that, they are so detail oriented. जो मुझे लगता है जो हम डिटेल्स मिस कर जाएं।
There's no jugaad over
हाँ,
there.
yes.
You know, you can't get away with things. And also it's so competitive. So आपको पता है कि the person next to you is as smart or smarter. So if I don't shine, they will outshine me. So if you are an ambitious person who takes pride in their work, that's the worst thing that can happen. You know, so you never want to be that case in the room.
बिल्कुल
यहाँ पे हम हर चीज में शॉर्टकट्स लेते हैं, जुगाड़ करते हैं, सरफेस लेवल चीजें कर लेते हैं because it gets you can get away with it. Over there you can't survive like that. Not at least not in the industry that I was in.
Sarah, you keep on mentioning excellence. And in a lot of my conversations with very different people, excellence is something that they emulate and that they depict in their demeanor. But we've never had a very detailed conversation on that. You studied at LUMS, you became a Fulbright scholar, and then you worked in local and one of the best companies locally and internationally. For me as well, personally, we never spoke on the concept of excellence. And for me, the first exposure to excellence was when I saw my husband working in an international company, and their tagline went something like, do it right every time the first time. And that was, for me, the first definition of excellence that formed in my head for that, So I want to understand, what is your personal definition of excellence?
That's a very good question. I don't know उसको मैं define कैसे करूँगी, but मेरे लिए जो मेरी approach है to any situation is showing up in the best way possible. And I think that's how the definition is different for each one of us. Yes. So मेरे लिए है कि every time I show up in a situation, I should show up in the best way possible. I don't know मुझे ये किसी ने consciously सिखाई है या ये मैंने notice किया in people that I admired, that they come in and give their best, regardless. And best looks very different on different ways, but it's your best. You are coming in with that mindset कि मैं अपना best दूंगी. With time, obviously, फिर आपको verbalize करना आ जाता है, उसको consciously उसके बारे में सोचना आ जाता है. So I think that was something that I had as a kid. And the second thing was, we're all human beings, right? हम हर चीज, there's a risk reward trade off हम हर जगह देख रहे होते हैं. तो जैसे मैंने अपने grades के through देखा कि being excellence over there turned into a reward, right? Like I was able to get into the kind of institutions I wanted. I was able to pursue the kind of education that I wanted. So I've seen that excellence gets rewarded. And I feel like it makes things easier. It makes your case easier. If I'm not bringing that to the table, it will not be reciprocated. But if I bring it to the table, 9 out of 10 times I've seen it being reciprocated. And when it's not reciprocated, it also really frustrates me.
Yeah.
जब मैं लोगों को देखती हूँ सब पार काम करते हुए, या half-assing their way through things, it really bothers me because आप at least give it your best shot, right? And then outcomes are beyond your control, but 8 out of 10 times the outcome will be proportional to the excellence that you will bring to a situation.
Agreed. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think कि ये excellence की conversation आपके साथ बात करते हुए I realize कि ये कितनी important है. क्योंकि इसकी छोटी छोटी जो frustrations हैं अपनी daily life में आप feel करते हैं, whether you're working, whether you're not working. In your day-to-day interaction with people, where you feel that they're not putting in their best foot forward.
इसकी लेकिन एक थोड़ी सी flip side भी है, which I do want to highlight, is it's exhausting to always be excellent or always show up in the best way possible. This is obviously something that I've realized in my 30s, the pressure of excellence or being the best at everything is also very exhausting, and it's disproportionately faced by women because it also ties into what I was just saying. I saw my excellence being rewarded. And as women, हमें prove करना पड़ता है कि I'm the best at this, which is why I should get XYZ. So we work harder, have to work harder than men, I feel, to prove ourselves. Which obviously after a point you kind of get tired of it, and it shouldn't be this hard.
Yeah.
In parallel to that, कुछ चीजें ऐसी होनी चाहिए जहाँ पे आप you just enjoy doing them. You don't need to be excellent, right? This is not a burden that you have to carry at all times. Also, being okay with failing. Matlab, this is something that people who are very committed to being good or being excellent, unke liye it's harder to accept failure. It's something I've struggled with. So it's not as big of a virtue if done all the time. अगर आप हर वक्त मतलब obsession हो जाए इससे, तो it can also be counterproductive, especially for your mental health.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल आई एग्री विद दैट। और मुझे लगता है कि औरतों की ऑलरेडी रिस्क टेकिंग एबिलिटी इज लोअर आदमियों से कंपैरेटिवली, और
Because हमें सिखाया नहीं जाता।
एग्जैक्टली वेयर हमें हमेशा में ये बताया जाता है कि बेस्ट तरीके से करना है, शो अप करना है, परफेक्ट काम करना है, परफेक्ट बनना है,
गलतियां नहीं करनी,
गलतियां नहीं करना, तो देयर इज नो रूम टू मेक मिस्टेक्स। और मेरे लिए तो ये इतनी बड़ी लर्निंग थी कि make more mistakes.
Yeah, that's how you learn.
That's how you learn, and it's encouraged actually.
Yes.
And और वो इस बात को एक adulthood में unlearn करना मुझे तो बहुत ही painful लगा overall. But now, Sarah, how do we tell women, that they should be, how do we encourage them to take more risks?
I would say सबसे ज़रूरी चीज़ है कि फेलियर को पर्सनल ना बनाए. आप you fail, मतलब आपका फेलियर किसी प्रोजेक्ट में होगा, किसी सिचुएशन में होगा. So learn to disconnect. Failure in a situation does not equate to being a personal failure.
Yeah.
Which is where I think a lot of us get very emotional about it, very sensitive about it. और फिर उसी से डर बैठ जाता है फिर. बट अगर आप फेलियर को ऑब्जेक्टिवली देखें तो मतलब देयर इज अ रीजन थिंग्स डिडंट गो द वे दैट यू थॉट दे वुड. उसमें कुछ लेसन्स हैं, कुछ लर्निंग्स हैं. अगर वो लेसन्स और लर्निंग्स आप नहीं ले पा रहे, और एक लेसन और लर्निंग सबसे ज़रूरी यही होती है कि हाउ डू यू गेट अप एंड मे बी ट्राई इट अगेन और ट्राई इट डिफरेंटली. बट व्हेन वी मेक फेलियर पर्सनल, तो वो करेज टू ट्राई अगेन जो है वो कहीं पीछे रह जाता है. So it's hard dealing with. Firstly, it's hard learning how to take risks. Because like you pointed out, बचपन से हमें कभी किसी ने ये नहीं कहा होता कि लो इतने पैसे हैं, जाओ make or break something of it. We're not taught that. It's something that either we fight for, or it's a privilege that we earn for ourselves later in life. अगर आप entrepreneur बन गए, इस तरह का आपने कोई चीज कर ली, तो वो risk taking ability को it's a muscle that you have to develop, and I feel like that muscle is only developed when you go into new situations. अगर आप उसी comfort zone में रहेंगे तो मतलब there are no risks to be taken there.
Yes, absolutely.
Hence there are no rewards to be reaped over there either. And then when you take risk, success and failure is hand in hand. It's
bound to happen. Yes.
दोनों sides हैं. और one day you can be very successful, feel amazing, and the next day you could feel like a total failure. So मतलब linear नहीं है ना कोई चीज.
Yes.
I think हम बहुत black और white में चीजों को देखते हैं. कोई या तो success है या failure है. All of us are dealing with successes and failures in our daily life, literally on a daily basis.
Yes.
And then your life is also a component of multiple aspects. आपकी personal life है, आपकी इमोशनल लाइफ है, करियर है. तो मतलब ऐसे भी होता है बहुत टाइम पे कि यू आर सक्सीडिंग एट मे बी टू डोमेन्स ऑफ योर लाइफ बट फीलिंग लाइक अ फेलियर इन द अदर 3. So how do you balance that, and how do you shift focus कि अच्छा नहीं, for the next few years मैं इस पे ज़्यादा focus करूँगी, maybe I can take a pause here. So I think there's a lot of nuances to all of this that are discounted.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. Overall मुझे ये बताएं थोड़ा सा, when we talk about failures and how it also took you time to acclimatize कि okay, और ये जो बात है कि इसको इतना हम personal ना लें. Was it something that you learned from some mentors in your life?
Sports, fitness. I think that's where I learned it from. I was not an athletic kid, but in my adult life, I've been very drawn to fitness. I'm a runner, I do strength training. तो जो एक वो resilience की बात है ना, वो मैंने वहाँ पे सीखी और वहाँ पे मैंने पहले तो notice की कि people come in, they try things. Some days they're able to hit it, some days they're not, but they keep showing up. And that's a quality that applies everywhere in life.
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल.
Right? And then pushing your limits, that's also something I've learned through sport and fitness. Okay? You think you're only capable of this, but your body surprises you. Your mental strength surprises you. And then taking those lessons outside as well. So I really, really credit my physical journey, physical resilience, because physical resilience also doesn't exist without mental strength. To push your body, your mind has to support you.
Absolutely.
For instance, like I trained for a marathon. It's one of the toughest things someone can do. But
बिल्कुल.
showing up again and again to train for this crazy goal, and then actually going through that process of running a marathon. But there are a lot of times where you feel like, bas nahi hoga mujhse, I'm going to give up, or I won't be able to go the next kilometer. But then pushing through, powering through, and again, it's keep taking one step, keep moving. And I think that's a philosophy that also works in my personal life, my work life. There are days when nothing makes sense. And I'm like, you just have to keep moving.
Absolutely.
Do what you can right now.
And show up.
And show up.
And keep on
Yes.
showing up. So, that's very interesting. अगर आप कभी, you weren't really into sports as a child, how did you take that first step into, physical, क्योंकि physical health को भी take care करना ये एक overwhelming और बड़ी आपको डरा भी देती है. अक्सर लोग जब पहली दफ़ा जिम में जाते हैं, for example, और या they go out even for a walk, just to start looking after themselves, बहुत daunting होता है.
Yeah.
So how did you take this first step?
It started in a very routine way, like because of aesthetics, I wanted to look a certain way, lose weight, XYZ. But once I started, it became something much bigger. First of all, I think I noticed the impact it had on my mental health, like movement. Even right now, it's something that I swear by. Like when if I go outdoor or if I move, it instantly shifts my mood. My mental headspace changes. So वो जब मैंने चीज़ notice किया, I was like, this is making me feel good. It's not just about weight loss. It actually makes me feel good. फिर उसके बाद आया, अच्छा, challenging myself with different forms of sport. And I think that sense of accomplishment again is a very important factor. अब ये कर लिया, what's next? अब ये कर लिया, how do I get better at that? I also compete as an athlete locally. So I think all of these things became addictive. And then it's also very important to have identities for yourself outside of work. That's how you balance, right? If you are just going to be only consumed by your professional identity, it's going to burn you out. To be able to do that well, it's very important to have other identities that are equally important.
बिल्कुल.
And guard them and be protective about them.
बिल्कुल.
Like जो मेरा workout का time है, I block it off in my calendar. I don't compromise on it because I know if I do that, I'm going to show up better at work. So
Wow.
I think those are the kind of, you have to see what works for you. But in my opinion, I think movement is like an underrated drug that not enough of us are using.
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल. And also something that you said कि, you will not compromise on that.
Yeah.
ये एक चीज़ है जो मुझे लगता है even socially अभी तक इतना acceptable नहीं है.
Yeah, बिल्कुल भी नहीं है.
अगर आप किसी को कहें कि I'm sorry, ये मेरा time, for example,
Or if I want to go to bed early because I run early mornings.
हाँ, yes.
It's something people don't understand.
They don't.
But the flip side is very easy. आप शादियों में 3-3, 4-4 बजे तक सुबह को होते हैं. That's okay.
That's okay and that's acceptable.
Yeah, but you
बिल्कुल.
have to, I think you have to be territorial about your goals, right? You have to be clear what you want to do. And then you have to be protective about it. Just like that's your goal, this is mine. And we have to learn to respect each other. And it's not easy in our culture. The concept of boundaries
नहीं है।
is almost non-existent. If
बिल्कुल।
you're a woman, तो बिल्कुल ही भूल जाएं. Um, but I mean, if you have, if there is your values, you have to be very clear on them. Your goals, you have to be very clear on them because they require work, they require time, they require space, and you have to create that for yourself. Nobody is going to hand it to you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Sarah, if we come, on boundaries and on family and how socially, women operate in Pakistan. तो मैं उसमें एक सबसे जो मेजर क्वेश्चन होता है इट्स अबाउट चूजिंग योर लाइफ पार्टनर, गेटिंग मैरिड, having a family. How did you meet your husband?
My husband is my childhood friend.
Okay.
So we were friends first. And I think that's probably the most special part about our relationship. I think in a marriage, if there is no friendship, it's very hard to go through life
बिल्कुल
because that's
बिल्कुल।
what keeps you coming back to each other. I think that bond. And if marriage is something that is part of your goals, or you are someone who wants to settle down or get married, I do agree that the partner that you choose is probably one of the most important decisions of your life. जो कि बहुत thoughtfully लेना चाहिए. Don't rush into it if you're not ready. Only get married when you're. I would say only get married when you're secure and happy with who you are first. Going into a marriage जब आपको अपनी sense of identity नहीं है या आप अपने आप से खुश नहीं है, तो you're carrying a lot of baggage into that relationship.
बिल्कुल
फिर हम
बिल्कुल।
expect करते हैं, the other person will fix it. It's not their job. आप get into a relationship or a marriage when you are happy and complete and feel that way yourself. And then the second piece I feel is very crucial is value alignment. You don't need to be similar, like me and my husband could not be more different. But जो आपकी core values होती है ना life में, they should match or they should align because that's what guides most of your decisions.
Yes.
Where you live, what you want to do, what kind of life you see for yourself, how you want to be with your family, how is he with his family.
Family,
I think
yes.
ये value system की alignment is very important. So because we were friends, knew each other well, I think that alignment
Was
is
there.
what. Yeah, it's मतलब he's been my biggest cheerleader. He's been my biggest supporter. और जो आप courage की और risk taking की बात कर रहे थे, excuse me, there are always people in your life, who are sources of that energy. जब आप से नहीं होता, when you're doubting yourself,
Yes.
they'll believe in you for you. So he's been that person for me, and which has enabled me or made me confident enough to step into places
Yes.
where I probably maybe not have been, और अगर जाती तो बहुत डर के जाती हूँ जगहों पे. So yeah.
So how, when you got married, I'm sure you had you were in the middle of your career. तो कैसे balance किया having a married life, dealing with a larger family now, not only your family but his family as well. So what were, when we speak about some boundaries as well, क्योंकि अक्सर ख़वातीन जब करियर में आ जाती हैं and then करियर के बाद शादी करती हैं तो वो वही ब्लैक एंड वाइट हो जाता है, कोई ग्रे एरिया की जगह नहीं बचती है या मल्टीटास्किंग नहीं हो पाती है. I mean, many other challenges. So how did you balance that?
Again, I would say I didn't get married too early. I got married when I was 30, so I was very clear on who I was, what I wanted, both in terms of family and also career. Like I'm very close to my own family. I've always made time for them. Really respect or value people who do the same. So I think एक वो अपनी identity के बारे में clarity थी. तो when I went into the relationship, he understood, कि there are certain things that are very important to me. And he also likes those things about me. So like, उसमें कोई compromise नहीं था. It was just an understanding of two equals that this is who I am, this is what I bring to the table, and then deciding to spend our life
And giving
together.
space to each other.
And giving space to each other. And I think कि मतलब इसमें भी आपके partner का बहुत बड़ा role होता है in setting expectations with their respective families.
Yeah.
So me with mine and he's with his family, कि this is who I'm marrying and this is how she is and this is what we will do together. तो वो obviously initial years are a period of transition for everybody because you're
बिल्कुल.
getting into a new setting, new space, new family. But being clear and also being flexible.
Yeah.
There are certain seasons in your life where family will take, the
Precedence.
precedence, and you should be okay with doing
Yeah.
that. And there are certain years where your career will demand more of you. Or there were years when I was just training and, had a very different routine, wanted to stick to that. So allowing each other that space. अगर आप individual level पे खुद करेंगे तो फिर then, families by extension start to respect that. And you're able to create that space. Obviously, it's many nuances and the kind of families you come from.
Yes, absolutely.
In my case, I'm fortunate that I had understanding families on both sides. But again, जितनी भी understanding हो, ये आपको ये transactions होती हैं, आपको
करनी पड़ती हैं. Yes, yes,
You have to define who you are.
बिल्कुल,
And then also accept them for who they are.
बिल्कुल,
It goes
बिल्कुल,
both ways.
बिल्कुल. जैसे कि I met somebody and you were asking me कि किसके साथ आपने you enjoyed the most, and I told you everybody had a different story. And yet at the same time they all said that their spouses were one of their biggest cheerleaders or supporters.
Yes.
And who helped them create those boundaries as well. Because as a woman you're told, maybe in our society, I don't know if it's worldwide वही चीज replicated है, पर मुझे लगता है किसी ना किसी intensity पे होती है. When you're a caretaker, a caregiver, so आपको वो you're expected to sort of have fluid boundaries.
I think sacrifice को बहुत glorify किया जाता है ना हमारे culture में कि sacrifice और औरतों का sacrifice तो भाई it has some moral.
It has to be there.
It has to be there, and like there is a moral superiority with that sacrifice. So
बिल्कुल.
I think breaking those like क्या बोलेंगे cycles is also
thought
on
process.
us. On like I've seen
Yes.
my mother like sacrifice, but for me it was like I'm not going to sacrifice my goals, my dreams,
For
things
this,
that are
yes.
important to me.
Yes.
And then finding a partner who could respect that,
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल.
who agreed with that, who believes in that, not just in a superficial way, but really in a meaningful way. I think that's very important, and we have to break those scripts so that younger girls around us can also learn that it's also equally admirable to live for yourself,
हाँ,
to live in a
yes.
way that makes you happy. Because अगर आप खुद खुश नहीं हैं, आप किसी को भी खुश नहीं रख सकते.
बिल्कुल,
It's very
बिल्कुल.
very important to be happy.
बिल्कुल ऐसा ही है. मैंने ये देखा कि आपका अगर मैं when you talk to people and they have their own scripts, and yours has always been कि आपके करीब you're passionate, you have some causes, and they reflect in your work as well. Jesse, you said that you're a great fitness and also a mental health advocate. I believe जो आपका aim fit है, that is also an extension of that.
Yeah. It's a women's health and wellness startup. So it tied in very closely with my
Absolutely.
own value system, and all of like my work endeavors have always been tied to my personal values. Obviously, उस time पे तो नहीं आपको पता होता, आप छोटे, when you're young in your 20s, you're attracted to certain spaces, you don't know why. But if you then reflect, I think at every stage in my life, I've picked up things or industries that are very closely aligned with my personal values. So AimFit obviously is women-led, for women, by women. And then it addresses women's health and wellness, which is probably one of the most ignored areas in Pakistan.
Absolutely.
So I think that's why I gravitated towards that business, and really the kind of work that they're doing and the kind of stories that I saw coming through because of that business, like women who didn't know कि अपना ख्याल रखना भी एक possibility होती है, how that makes them feel, how that changes them emotionally, not just physically but also emotionally,
Yes.
mentally. So those are stories of like survival and resilience, और उसको हम एक बहुत I think surface level पे treat करते हैं कि it's probably just for aesthetics. Aesthetics is yes one part of it, but there are so much more that goes into
So much
it.
more, so much more.
And your body is like the first house you live in, right? अगर आप अपनी body में खुश नहीं है, imagine being uncomfortable in the house that you live in all the time. So you have to make sure कि आप जिस permanent house में है, that's a good one, it's a comfortable one. एंड ज़ैनब उसके बहुत सारे रिलेटेड consequences होते हैं जो आप नोटिस नहीं करते. लाइक वंस यू आर गुड फीलिंग गुड इन योर बॉडी, then you automatically start to question, how do I feel good in my head, how do I improve my mental health because I'm feeling good. फिर आप you become very conscious about मैं क्या मीडिया कंज्यूम कर रही हूँ, who am I sitting around, what am I giving time to, what kind of thoughts are crowding my mind. You become very conscious about मैं अपनी बॉडी में how am I eating, what am I eating,
Yes.
why am I putting processed things in my body, how do I work with my body, not against it. So their financial well-being. So these are all aspects of wellness that are
Connected.
and for me, I think physical health was that first step that unlocked this whole wellness arena for me.
Very interesting. Because Sara, थोड़ा सा you speak about mental health as well, and again and again हमारी conversation में mental health आ रहा है. Tell me a little bit about एक तो you worked with it through first working on the physical self, and then it sort of unlocked this. But whenever you're in we spoke about mentors as well.
Yeah.
And we spoke about people who are our cheerleaders.
Yes.
So when it comes to mental health, एक तो मुझे थोड़ा सा tell me about your mental health regime, if there is any, and also about the people that you would go to for advice and who would be maybe mentors or your personal board of directors as well.
Mental health is a personal passion area for me because I think your brain is like any other part of your body, right? अगर मेरा हाथ दर्द कर रहा होगा या काम नहीं कर रहा होगा, I'll go see a professional and be like, help me fix it. The same thing is for your brain. It's just a way of optimizing how your mind works. Make it faster, make it clearer, make it more structured, and be more self-aware about who you are, why you are the way you are, which is what things like therapy does. So I'm a very big advocate of therapy. I've done it myself. I think it's very, very useful. It helps you understand why you are who you are. आपके triggers क्या हैं, आपकी happy spaces क्या हैं, how to optimize for them, how to work through your triggers, how to work through stress. I think professional coaches in that sense are also equally important.
Yes.
As you go into new domains, या आप seniority में जब move करते हैं, it's all new, everything is new. So you're not, कोई script तो नहीं है ना, and overnight you won't just grow into this new role. So why not get help from people who can help you manage it, who can help you prevent mistakes, who can help you speed up that learning curve. So those are, I think, more professional avenues that I've used. Both of them I've used. And then having mentors, in my case, it's mostly been women I admire, whose path I've looked up to. So tapping into them, and different women at different points I go to for very different reasons, right? Like some are just emotional sounding boards, some are very good with specific like industry advice or field advice. So ye teachers bhi hain, they have been former bosses, current senior women around myself that I've very consciously like stayed in touch with and go to for very different needs. But I think वहाँ पे भी ना एक variety होनी ज़रूरी है because
बिल्कुल.
no one person can give you all the answers. So you have to like go to different people for different things.
For different things, yeah. Absolutely. You're heading Invest to Innovate now. It's a very different path than one would expect. And you said that you always sort of change trajectories. You always were interested in innovation. How did you connect with Invest to Innovate?
So when I moved back to Pakistan, like I said, I've always been attracted to innovation in the sense कि मुझे उन जगहों पे जाना अच्छा लगता है जहाँ पे लोग या तो कोई different चीज़ कर रहे हैं या same problem को different तरीके से solve कर रहे हैं. So जब मैं यहाँ वापस आई थी, I saw that happening in the startup space. There was a lot of money moving in. I saw a lot of smart people like myself building things, building businesses, trying to solve problems. So I was like, okay, let me try this because I think being around intelligent people is something I genuinely enjoy. Like being challenged by them, learning from them is very important. So that's how I came into the startup world. That's how AimFit happened. I've also like advised and worked informally with a couple of other startups. And when AimFit concluded, Invest to Innovate literally just came out of nowhere. But because I've always admired the work that they do, I've also really admired Kulsum because she was one of the pioneers in this space, kind of embodied, you know, Pakistani women the way I wanted to see them. So it kind of was a no-brainer, and it's definitely very different to anything that I've done before. But I think आपके first principles जो होते हैं वो same रहते हैं. So वो first principles of curiosity, learning, empathy, being okay with risks. I think those are all of the same qualities that have served me in this role so far as well.
So as a leader, कुछ आपने qualities बताई कि this is what you look for. How did you develop that that ये इस तरह का leader है जिसको मैं I look up to या I would want to be like that. What are the qualities?
I think discipline, discipline is very important. Being thorough is very important. Like, has very high bullshit radar, so I can tell when somebody is just doing surface level stuff versus when someone is really a master of their craft. So I really like learning about specialties or very niche areas from people who really understand them. So I'm always gravitating towards specialists, I would say, in the industry. Discipline is very important. What else? I think people who are also, again, I would say women or people who are bold enough to charter unknown paths. क्योंकि tried and tested formulas of success, I'm not saying that it doesn't require effort, but it's easier. It's very hard to go into new spaces जहाँ पे probably कोई template नहीं है, कोई role model नहीं है, and kind of crafting your own path. So people who have their own unique journey, I think that's something that really inspires me. Good communication skills.
Yes.
I think as women, that's or as any professional or as a person, being able to tell powerful stories, that's something that I'm attracted to as well.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल and I think that आपका message across नहीं हो सकता if you do not shape it in the form of a very good story or a narrative.
Yes. And again, for that, reading is so important. You can't have a meaningful narrative unless you know the wider context in which you're operating, the wider principles. So just by virtue of being a good communicator, there's a lot of things that check off.
Absolutely.
जो powerful orators होते हैं, उन्होंने अपना research की हुई होती है, thoroughness होती है, data होता है उनके पास. So it shows you're data driven, you're a big reader, you have a research mindset, you have a learning mindset. So I think those are things that.
सारा मुझे ये बताएं कि कोई भी जिंदगी में there must be moments where you must have faced failure. हमारी बात हुई कि हम failure is something that you deal with. किन avenues में success, किन avenues में failure. Success की definition को भी हमने we talked about that. But there's some things that really hit you hard. And you're left in a very vulnerable spot. आप बड़ा weak महसूस करते हैं. How do you deal with that?
I don't know if I would call it a failure, but when I moved back here, obviously that kind of shook up my world because it was a sudden move because of the pandemic. तो मतलब ऐसी कोई background planning नहीं की थी कि move करूँगी. तो I always knew कि मुझे पाकिस्तान वापस आना है, लेकिन कब आना है वो नहीं define किया था. So I didn't think it came sooner than I expected. So I wasn't prepared. And then obviously in a pandemic, how prepared can you be when आपको पता ही नहीं है, what it will look like, how things will change. So, and then not being able to find the kind of work that I was doing or replicate it over here because up until that point, I had only worked as a journalist. So I was like, what will I do? And I take so much pride in the work that I do. So for me, like not being able to figure out कि अब क्या करना है and कैसे करना है, next कहाँ जाना चाहिए. And it took me almost a year to figure that out. But I think what really brought me back was first principles, like, coming back to, okay, what is it that I really value? Because हम सब काम for the sake of काम तो नहीं कर रहे होते. There is something bigger that drives us. And that can exist in many ways. So yes, maybe storytelling or journalism or media was one way, but what are other ways that I can channel that same energy? And I think that introspection, it was very tough because in a lot of ways I had to let go of my own whole identity. I was living in this other country. और हमारी लाइफस्टाइल्स कोई बिल्कुल कंपेरेबल ही नहीं है, राइट?
बिल्कुल,
यहाँ और वहाँ. सो आप यू व्हाट आई वाज ट्राइंग टू से कि आप दोनों बोट में एक एक पाँव नहीं रख सकते थे. आई हैड टू लेट गो ऑफ दैट बोट to be comfortable here, and that's a boat I had worked very hard to get into. It was not handed to me. I had crossed a lot of hurdles to get an education, to create a life, to
Absolutely,
create a
yes.
career for myself, and then to kind of let all of that go. So it was almost like a rebirth in terms of, okay, who am I now? Who am I here? And what do I want to do with it? So wahan pe, I think taking some time and space is very important. I didn't just jump into the next thing. I was like, okay, I'm in my 30s. I don't need to, I have the privilege of taking some time. So I don't need to rush into the next thing. So really taking that time to connect with myself, to understand who I am, and then getting into something with intentionality. And that's a practice I've done many times in my life. When I'm transitioning, I take some time for myself so that A, you can close one chapter meaningfully, and B, also go into the next one with clarity and more intentionality. तो वो pauses और वो breaks लेना ना बहुत ज़रूरी होता है, because you're not the same person. Who you are in your 20s is very different from who you are in your 30s. और आप change हो रहे होते हैं, but अगर आप वो time और space नहीं लेंगे समझने के लिए पहले खुद, तो वो in practice भी नज़र नहीं आएंगी, and you're kind of just in a rat race, which if you don't need to be, then don't be in that.
Very interesting. That starting a new chapter with an intentionality.
Yes.
And also being able to let go of your past.
You can't commit to something new if you're
Yes.
always, and it's not that easy to let go of something you've built
Built.
with so much blood, sweat, and tears, like
Yes.
literally, तो उसको
And over
छोड़ना
so much time as well.
over so much time, and then you start to identify as somebody, and then letting go of that identity. But I think that's a very important lesson कि आप you can't have your cake and eat it too. You have to make choices, and every choice has a price. और अगर आप वो intentionally नहीं करेंगे ना, तो वो price चुपती रहती है. But अगर आप intentionality के साथ करेंगे, commitment के साथ करेंगे, you kind of give yourself that closure that, this is, I'm now moving on.
Yes.
This is done.
Yes.
And you're able to be more honest and committed to the new identity that you're now moving towards.
And very interesting is that even entrepreneurship, अगर हम देखें, तो it is about storytelling as well.
Yes.
So much, especially now with AimFit, I'm sure, then how you've guided different startups, and then also now running Invest to Innovate, where you're hearing stories and you're telling how to build that powerful narrative around it.
It's so important, I think, at every touch point, from like the story that you're telling your customers, from the story you're telling to your investors, the story you're telling your team. It has to be value driven, it has to be clear, it has to be simple, and it has to be consistent. You up har dusre din you can't have a new story.
बिल्कुल.
Because it erodes trust and it erodes loyalty. And जब आप from the get go ये exercise कर लेते हैं ना, then having like a vision path for your company is becomes simpler as well, because you can come back to your core mission, you can come back to your core principles, and that helps you take tougher decisions. हमारी values क्या है? Who is it that we're actually serving? So when there are bigger decisions, you can come back to those core principles and be like, okay, if this is not serving my core target audience, then maybe this is not something I need to do right now.
Absolutely. It helps you keeps you on track.
Yes. Yes.
अक्सर जब मेरे पास एक और कोई very relatable but a different opportunity आती है for my work as well, there are times that I have to go back and introspect.
Yes.
कि what is consumer connect, for example, about? You know, मेरा narrative क्या है? क्या ये उससे जुड़ रहा है इस वक्त या नहीं?
How does it fit in the big picture?
Yes, absolutely.
You know, how does it serve the bigger mission?
Yes.
And sometimes things are very attractive because revenue hai, you know, instant
बिल्कुल
paise
है,
hai.
पैसे हैं, yes.
But maybe in the long run, it doesn't work in terms of the
हाँ,
vision that you have for the company. So then those decisions become relatively easier to
because
take.
in your day to day basis पे तो आपको वो चीज़ याद नहीं होती है.
Yes.
आप इतने normal routine operation,
Yes.
you know, you have to do 1 or 2 or 10 tasks every day on repeat. So you sort of that message goes at the back, and then you know you have to stop, pause, and think. कि, अच्छा, you know, yeah, what are we all about?
What is it that we're really doing
What
here?
is it that we're really doing?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
अच्छा सारा इस पे मुझे बताएं on the next generation of founders, you know, what is it that excites you about them? What is it that you know really feel कि इस पे काम होना चाहिए?
In my experience so far, what I love speaking to founders, and what I really like about these interactions, or you know, my journey so far, even with Invest to Innovate, has been कि ये जो कि entrepreneurs या founders जो होते हैं ना, they can see a different world जो आप probably नहीं देख सकते, and that's why they're disruptive, or that's why they're innovative, because we could be looking at the same thing, but उनका जो एक vision होता है, it's completely different. So they help you see different possibilities, which I personally find fascinating. Like, you know, typical day-to-day चीजें लेनी, logistics लेना, you know, fintech लेना, health and wellness लेना, but उसको different तरीके से solve करना, efficient तरीके से solve करना, and also questioning कि अगर ये ऐसा है तो ज़रूरी नहीं है कि मतलब this is how
क्यों
it
है
needs
ऐसा?
to be. What else can be done here? How can we make it better?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's very exciting to me personally. The second thing that I really admire is that entrepreneur होना कोई आसान काम नहीं है. It's a very glorified word, but it's also a very, very difficult journey to take. And especially being one in Pakistan, where things are so uncertain, you know, there's such lack of systemic support हर तरह से. तो जो यहाँ पे founders operate कर रहे हैं, I really think they're made of cut from a different cloth, because the level of self-belief and grit that it requires to get up day after day and continue to fight the good fight. And a lot of these fights are unnecessary. कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है उनकी, you know, ये avoidable चीज़ें हैं. So you really have to love what you're doing to be able to power through all of that unnecessary stuff. And then obviously जो business के अपने challenges होते हैं वो तो है ही. But in terms of spaces, I think what I'm personally very excited about is climate tech, climate focused businesses. It's something that is very crucial at this point, just because of, you know, our reality. हम जो floods देख रहे हैं, global warming देख रहे हैं, और Pakistan in particular is one of the most heavily impacted countries in the world in terms of climate change. So businesses that are thinking of, you know, circularity or EVs or sustainability, I think that's where a lot of the funding and a lot of the good businesses that we'll see in the next decade will come from. I'm very excited to see that.
मुझे ये बताया सारा that you know as you said कि startups are very glorified भी होते हैं, entrepreneur की life की पूरा glorified होता है. What do you think, you know, काफ़ी दफ़ा मैं ऐसा feel करती हूँ that you know there are a lot of startups that start because of just, you know, being in that startup culture. How true is that in Pakistan?
I think it's getting less true, because it's now becoming a lot more real and harder to be a founder and a sustainable founder. So maybe this trend was probably more prevalent जब you know you had those funding cycles in 2021, 2022. So there was a lot of money coming into the country, and all of a sudden anyone could raise money, and that's essentially what becoming a founder got equated to, or what becoming a successful founder got equated to. कि आपने अगर investment raise कर ली, तो आप अच्छे फाउंडर हैं, जबकि इन्वेस्टमेंट रेस करनी इज वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट responsibilities that you can take up because you are
Yes.
now accountable for this money, or that money is not charity, right? You have to generate returns, you have to show growth. So I think उस time पे बहुत सारे लोग probably there was a lack of education around what this really means, what this funding environment really means, requires, and people entered into it headstrong. But now that the market is self-correcting or चीजें, there was this big uptake, and now it's kind of
Yes.
steady.
Yes.
So अब जो businesses हैं वो they're not based on hyper growth model. They're based on sustainability, being sustainable from day one, being revenue generating from day one. And then investment is an additional support tool that's layered on, which you only get when you need it.
Yeah.
You don't just go and create a business to raise money. You actually raise money strategically when your business needs it. And in a lot of cases, we advise founders कि अगर पैसे नहीं raise करने की जरूरत, business self-sustaining है, तो there is no reason for you to dilute your equity and take on this burden. If you
Which
can
is a very
continue.
different sort of a message that you're giving.
Yes, I think now this is becoming more and more normal. You'll see a lot of people in the ecosystem talking about it. Because VC money is not for everybody. And इन्वेस्टमेंट के भी बहुत सारे दूसरे व्हीकल्स होते हैं, आप डेट रेज कर सकते हो, ग्रांट फाइनेंसिंग. सो आई थिंक बिकॉज ऑफ द ग्लैमर एंड ग्लोरी, और एक मुझे हाइप क्रिएट हो गई थी उसकी वजह से उस टाइम पे मे बी people got in with the wrong expectations, but now the ones that have survived are those that have good businesses.
What is the vision that you envision for the next founders, for Invest to Innovate overall, and for the startup world?
I think not just startups are like our vision for I2I is to serve founders, to create as many founder success stories as possible, whether that's through connecting them to capital or capacity building or accelerator programs or advocacy and, policy changes. So continuing to do that and continuing to do that in an innovative way where we're ahead of the curve, and leading the way, because that has been the institution's legacy since it started. Like, it started the concept of ethical entrepreneurship in Pakistan, then pivoted and became very startup focused. So अब हम अपना थोड़ा सा universe broaden करना चाह रहे हैं, where we also work with SMBs, we also work with other forms of businesses, because the mandate is to make entrepreneurship accessible and easy. Again, it's a very big universe. We can't do everything at the same time, but continuing to work with businesses that are not just traditional startups, but also smaller and emerging businesses. One thing that we are very passionate about now, and have been working actively towards, is unlocking local capital. So why is it that we are so dependent on foreign funding, whereas आपकी अपनी local
बिल्कुल.
money is not being deployed, and foreign funders are not going to write those checks until somebody local takes the lead. And
बिल्कुल.
so how do we unlock that money? How do we create new avenues like angel investors and not just be so heavily reliant on 5 or 6 VCs in the country? So basically, हमने supply side पे बहुत काम किया, which is getting founders ready, investment ready. But what's happening if there is no money or no capital that they can be connected to? Businesses need capital to run.
बिल्कुल,
And that
बिल्कुल.
capital has to be local. It has to be homegrown. Because like हम क्यों अपना सारा पैसा property और banks में रखते हैं, gold पे लगाते हैं? Why can't we back businesses? Why can't we back people? And that's a much bigger battle and a much bigger conversation, but essentially trying to fill in that gap.
And much more challenging in how to convince people to take that risk.
Yes.
Okay, if you're backing a business, what is it in it for the investor कि वो exit strategy क्या in place की जाए?
Yes. उसमें short term आपके returns क्या हो सकते हैं, long term return क्या है, how to have the right risk appetite plus also the right disposable income to be able to invest.
Absolutely.
Right? ये मतलब this is experimental investing. It's
बिल्कुल.
risky investing.
बिल्कुल.
So you have to go in with the right expectation, but then again, the rewards are also disproportionate. So technical capacity building also of investors is something that we're working on. We've been doing because this equation doesn't work until both demand and supply kind of
Yeah,
converge.
they converge, and I think would I be मतलब ये मैं safe enough हूँ कहूँ कि you're pioneering this part of the side
I
of this equation?
I think the problem is not new, but taking on the solution in a systemic way, probably yes. कुछ ऐसा नहीं है कि ये इन्वेस्टमेंट्स हो नहीं रही हैं मगर वो डिसऑर्गेनाइज्ड हैं, फ्रैगमेंटेड हैं, बहुत लिमिटेड तरीके से हो रही हैं, whereas the potential is much greater. So we're trying to make it transparent, systemic, accessible, so that it becomes like a healthy investment vehicle in the country,
बिल्कुल,
as opposed to just something that's limited to a few people,
बिल्कुल,
which is what
बिल्कुल.
it is right now.
Sarah, you mentioned that you read a lot of books, and I think आपका ज़माना ऐसा है कि लोग book reading की तरफ हट के, there are a lot of other forms of content consumption as well. But please do recommend, what are the books that you would highly recommend everybody to read? Somebody who's from person who's looking for, improving themselves, from, being a founder, to anybody actually.
Unfortunately, I don't read as much as I used to because of time constraints, and there's so much reading involved. Otherwise, I still do read, but my media diet has changed significantly. So now it includes podcasts, it includes TV shows, good films. I think they also can teach you so much.
So much, yes.
So, I think in terms of recommendations, what I would say is we have, at least I have a tendency to get drawn to just one subject that I want to know about or know enough about, whereas it's very important to have diversity in your media diet as well. So like I consciously, when I'm listening to podcasts, I listen to, financial podcasts, जिसमें आपको investment strategies सिखाई जा रही हैं, then also like health podcasts, biographies, talk shows, lots of like talk shows, and then even the same thing in books. There was a period in my life where I became very obsessed with like, self-help type books, how to optimize for this and that and this and that. And while that is important, I think do make use of these resources because, there are some books that really have usable strategies जो आप implement कर सकते हैं. This I love Adam Grant. I love the stuff that he has. But then at the same time, I think fiction is also equally important because
Yes.
it challenges your imagination. So I've recently started to pick up fiction again because I'm like, okay, enough of all of this during the day. My mind needs a break. Then similarly, when I'm running, I'll listen to a good podcast. In terms of TV shows, I really can't get behind like वो कहते हैं ना indulgent जो बिल्कुल empty TV shows होते हैं. I just that's not my genre at all. I'm always looking for either crime or real life stories or something that has a good script, a good cast, because
Well written.
well thought out, characters are nuanced, because again it's an investment of time that you're putting in, so I might as well either really enjoy it or learn something. So trash TV doesn't do it for me.
Okay, very interesting. I also feel कि content consumption इतना different और diverse हो गया है कि not only अब just
On our
picking
phones.
on our phones, yes, and how do you optimize it? तो आपने बहुत अच्छे से बताया कि अगर मैं फला एक्टिविटी कर रही हूँ तो I listen to it like this. अगर मैं इस अपने stage of life में हूँ, I look into this category.
Newsletters, I think, are also
बिल्कुल.
very important.
बिल्कुल.
You also have to stay up to date with the world.
Yes, yes.
But I think our brains are already so tired कि हम
Tired,
10 news sites जाके information collect करें. I really advocate signing up for 3 or 4 newsletters that give you a good summary. They could be business newsletters, one could be about current affairs and politics. And that's just a really good way to start your day.
Yeah.
So you feel like, you're at least know headlines for everything. और पर जो चीज़ आपकी interest की, and then you do a deeper dive and learn more about it.
Sarah, we've had such a varied conversation. We've touched so many subjects, so many personal and professional, aspects. अब मैं आपको थोड़ा सा दोबारा वापस पीछे ले जाऊंगी. And what is that one piece of advice that you would give when you were starting out to that young girl, who had dreams, who had a vision, who wanted to go out and do something? What would be that one advice that now you wish you were given or you would give to yourself?
Ah, that's a tough one. I think there is two that have really served me. One is कि it's the things that scare you, जिनसे आपको डर लग रहा होता है. Those are the things that you really need to do. The distinction is कि बहुत सारे हम में से लोग, और especially ख़वातीन, when that fear kicks in, they surrender. It's when that fear kicks in, that's when you have to keep going. So if you can move past that initial fear, it kind of almost becomes a reflex response. फिर आपको ज़िंदगी में जो भी situation है, that fear shows up in different ways. But when you learn how to move past it, I think that's when new possibilities and the whole world waits for you ahead of that fear.
Yeah.
And the second piece, again, is something we have kept referring to in this conversation, is that movement creates momentum. Most of us don't start off full throttle at the speed of 120. What we do is we take that first step. So as long as you're taking one step ahead, I think eventually that compounds and turns into momentum, and sometimes far beyond what you can imagine. So get comfortable with taking that first step, no matter how hard or useless it may seem. But अगर आप पैरालाइज हो जाएंगे ना, या वहीं खड़े रहेंगे, तो कुछ नहीं चेंज होगा.
Yeah.
It's the movement that creates you, that gives you that lift off.
Bilkul.
So, yeah, those would be the
And very useful pieces of advice at any stage of your life.
It works everywhere. It's not just for
Everywhere,
your
yes.
career. It works everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, and your approach, I think, is, as people, our approach is similar, right? It's not like कि मैं काम पे कोई और हूँ, बाहर कोई और हूँ. हमारे basic principles और
Same होते
attitude
हैं.
तो same होता है.
सेम होता है. और आप ये जो कहते हैं ना कि ओ जो पर्सनल लाइफ में जो है आप वो सेपरेट करें और प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में सेपरेट है, मुझे तो लगता है कि वो
It's a mixture.
It's a mix.
The
It's a
learnings are
mix.
transferable.
Yes.
The successes and failures seep through.
Yes,
I think what you have to learn to do is learn to prioritize.
हाँ.
Sometimes the personal is more important. Sometimes the professional is more important.
Yes.
So being able, giving yourself flexibility actually
हाँ.
to prioritize as needed is very important.
Sarah, thank you so much for
Thank
this
you so
lovely conversation. I think we had so many things to learn from, and especially loved your candid approach to things and your bravery and your courage to take on new things and also charter new paths.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Zainab. It was a pleasure. Thank you.